Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Update 7.2 for Battlefield 2042 was released yesterday, and I gotta be honest, I'm actually surprised by the update and also by its content, especially since everything seems to get more and more chaotic in the last few weeks. It's kind of refreshing to see that there is still life in the game and that DICE is also still able to deliver, and also to add well thought out modes and playlists to the game. There is a little bit of criticism though, but I will get into this later. Let's get through it one by one. So first of all, I think that should be pointed out is that DICE didn't break anything. Might sound a bit strange, but I do remember a lot of former updates where there was always something, and I even did complete videos about these issues and just pointing them out and pointing out new bugs and everything. And so far I haven't recognized any new bugs or issues in the last update. There is something for sure, but it's not obvious right away. The servers feel good as well, the performance is good, which wasn't always the case in the last few weeks, if you remember the bugs and issues, crashes on Xbox and everything. So the first impression is pretty good, at least on PC, haven't tested it on Xbox yet. Then we got the last two pieces of content, the new LMG, DFR Strife, and the new bomber, the XFAT for Draugr. And thanks to the new time-limited version of Control that we got on the start screen now, you can play both of these new items right away, at least in this mode, and basically unlock these new items while you play them. I've already explained this in my last video. You need to earn ribbons to unlock the new gear, 40 ribbons for the Draugr and 80 ribbons for the LMG. In between you can unlock an XP boost and 2 tier skips for the battle pass, and you can earn those ribbons in any mode you like, if you don't like Control. But I would actually recommend to play Control, because while using the new LMG or the new bomber in this mode, you do not only earn ribbons to unlock them for yourself and for your collection, but also level them up already and unlock the attachments and upgrades. Which means once the LMG is unlocked, for example, you might have also unlocked all of the attachments for it already. Just saves you some time here. One thing though, this method of unlocking the new gear only works for the next 2 weeks until May 28. After this, you need to unlock the new gear by completing assignments, but I don't know yet what the requirements will be. However, the DFR Strife, the new LMG, is definitely one of the better weapons of the game already, and I would highly recommend to unlock it as fast as you can. It feels like a mix between assault rifle and LMG, and for me it's actually a nice alternative to the RPK. Especially when you want to be versatile and you want to move between mid and close range combat. The recoil is not too bad, it's not too hard to control, the accuracy is okay, and you can set it up in a lot of different ways, which is actually quite surprising for an LMG. I personally use it with the tactical compensator for more accuracy, with the LWG grip for more accuracy when moving, and with the standard issue extended magazine. By default it is equipped with the standard issue belt fed, but I felt like the reload time is a bit too long for the low amount of ammo it has, at least compared to other LMGs, because it only has 90 bullets per magazine while others go up to 150 or 200. With the standard issue extended, you have of course an even lower amount of ammo, because it's only at 40 I believe, but the reload time is also a lot shorter, which felt a lot better for me, at least in close quarters combat. But what you can do as well is to equip it with a heavy suppressor and with subsonic ammunition. And this will allow you to stay completely hidden from the minimap when shooting, which might come in handy if you want to go for sneaky flanks. But it's only because of this combination of heavy suppressor and subsonics. If you only use the subsonics, you will still be visible on the minimap. Just give it a try and experiment with the different setups. I'm pretty sure there's something for every one of you. As for the bomber, I hadn't had the chance to play it during the stream yesterday, as you might have recognized when you watched it, but later in the evening I was lucky and got into one, and even though I'm not that much of a pilot, I really like the feel of it. It has this kind of smooth and swift gliding and feels a lot more agile than the Jets, and I haven't tested the different setups yet, but one thing I recognized is that it doesn't have any counter against the anti-air gadgets of infantry, which might be something to balance it out. There are no flares or anything. You only have the jammer and the camouflage, but the jammer only works against vehicle lock-ons and has to be activated before the actual missile is fired, so not like the flares that you can also pop later. And the camouflage won't save you from lock-ons as well, it only hides you visually. So it's very vulnerable when it comes to this, but definitely a nice addition to the arsenal and worth unlocking. A little fun fact about the Draugr: because it is actually a drone and there is no pilot sitting inside of it, you can also not exit it like you can do with the helis or with the jets. And if you try to exit it, it will start a countdown to self-destruct, which then counts as a death for you. Interesting solution for this. Shout out to Danny on PC for testing it out. As usual, there are also 2 new player cards for these 2 new gear items that you can unlock by playing them. For the Draugr, you need to get 15 spot assists with the vehicle and 2 multi-kills in 1 life, which shouldn't be much of a problem with the new kerosene bombs on control. And for the DFR, it's 1000 damage and 15 kills at a distance of 30 meters or more. So nothing dramatic and should be done quickly, especially in control. Anyways, there were also several changes made to the attack heli and its damage against ground vehicles in the update. The TOW missiles and the anti-vehicle rocket pods were nerfed, but in general it still feels good and is still a good counter for ground vehicles. A little bit weaker than before, but not like a massive nerf. The slower self-repair is also barely noticeable, at least for me, and it doesn't have much of an impact, at least not as much as I thought it would have. If you want the exact numbers to these changes, be sure to check out the video in the info box. That's where I went over all of the changes already. I'm also surprised how the nerf to McKay feels, cause here the cooldown of the grappling hook was increased from 11 to 25 seconds, which is quite a lot, at least on paper, so it's double the cooldown that we had before. More than double actually. And his trade was also slowed down and he can't strafe as fast anymore when he is in ADS. And I played a bit of McKay on stream yesterday, and even these changes felt quite good, and he's not nerfed to death or anything. What we don't have yet though is the reload animation when equipping the grappling hook, because this will only be added in a future update. This means that when you equip the grappling hook, so when you switch from your primary weapon to the grappling hook, for example, you will have the same or a similar animation like the reload that is triggered when you miss your target. So this will slow down McKay even more. How it feels remains to be seen. I'm not seeing a need for this at the moment though. I think he's well balanced the way he is now. What also seems to have a nice effect so far is the nerf to Irish Shootdown Sentinel, because this one doesn't intercept anti-vehicle rockets and gadgets anymore. So far, I haven't seen any camping tank on the edge of the map with Irish APS around, so it seems like most players got the memo that this is not working anymore. It remains to be seen how this will affect smaller maps like Redacted, for example, if there is some kind of switch in playstyle and suddenly everyone's running around with an RPG to blow up the enemy, but we will see if this has an effect at all. Against camping tanks, it definitely seems to be an improvement. In addition, we also got 2 stealth changes that were not mentioned in the patch notes. They are only for the UI, but still worth mentioning, I think. And first one is that you can now see the stats of all weapons directly in the deploy screen when selecting your weapon for the loadout. And you can also see the amount of each class in your team behind the class selection, but right now this seems to be bugged and it shows 0 most of the time. Which might be true for medics, because it often feels like there is indeed 0 medics around. But anyways, I hope they will fix it with another update, because that's actually a pretty cool feature that gives you a feel for the team and their playstyle and how you can contribute to it. In addition, we also got a nice new playlist that is called Close Quarters Combat, and that's a combination of Haven, Redacted and Stadium. All infantry only, of course, which is actually a combination I was hoping for. Frontlines is back as well if you love this mode, and going fast forward to the store, you can now find a Shark bundle for 2000 battlefield coins. It's not my kind of style, especially not with this shark chicken nugget weapon charm right here, but I guess it's personal preference. You also get 20 tier skips for the battle pass with it, so the price for the bundle is fair. It's just the design that doesn't sit so well with me personally, but that comes from someone who's using bald head McKay, so I'm probably not the right person to judge this anyhow. What I'm not a big fan of as well this week are the missions, because these are so extremely focused on specific weapons or kinds of damage. It doesn't make them a lot harder to complete, but it's definitely a week that is quite different. And usually I don't like these specific missions that require you to play one single weapon, gadget or vehicle, like this week where you have to play the Draugr or the EMKV90 for example, because this usually results in half of the lobby just running around with this one weapon or gadget. And someone also went really crazy on the doubles mission progression option this time, because half of the missions have this. It's not bad, it's just kind of hilarious. Nevertheless, a little heads up on this week, especially if you're new to the game, you might not have unlocked all of the required weapons, specialist gadgets or vehicles yet. So be sure to do these missions in the new mode Control Unlocked, because over there you have access to everything that is available in the game. All weapons, all vehicles, all attachments, all upgrades, all gadgets, everything. And that will definitely make it a lot easier for you. And while I was already editing this video here and looking through some gameplay, I recognized this screen here that I had skipped yesterday during the stream without actually reading it. And just now I realized what it is, because I thought it was the description for Control or for any old event mode that just shows up accidentally, but it turns out it is very likely the description for the mode coming in the next event that is called Future Strike. We know it will come at some point towards the end of the season, but no exact date yet, but I'm assuming it will start in 2 weeks already. However, it looks like DICE already accidentally leaked the new mode and everyone seemed to skip over it as well. So the new mode is called, apparently, Strike Team, and the description reads like Search and Destroy or some adaptation of it. 2 small teams face off against each other and the first team to win 6 rounds wins the match. To win a round, you either need to capture the objective or eliminate the enemy team. There are no respawns within a round, of course. In addition, there are so-called shock rounds that level the playing field in rounds 3, 6 and 9, where every player is equipped with the same randomized weapons. No idea how this will play, and it also seems to be focused on infantry-only maps, so Stadium will surely be involved. But yeah, that's very likely our next event mode, leaked by DICE themselves. And that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to drop a like and tell me in the comments below how your first impression of the update is and its new content, and if you like it or not. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna see you in the next one, and you're awesome.